The real reason you self-sabotage. So, people always say the same thing, you're sabotaging yourself because you're afraid of failure. But honestly, deep down, that's not quite it. You're not actually scared of failing. I mean, you've failed before, you've survived disappointment, you've faced setbacks, right? That isn't what's stopping you. What actually terrifies you is what would happen if you succeed. Because, well, real success would demand something far more uncomfortable. A new identity, a bigger version of you, a life that no longer fits the safe, familiar patterns you've lived inside for years. You're not afraid to fail, you're afraid to expand. You've built your life inside invisible boundaries, relationships that expect a certain version of you, family systems that are comfortable with your current level, friends who know you as you are, not who you could become, and internal stories about what's realistic for someone like you. And here's the paradox. Even when those boundaries feel limiting, they feel safe. Because crossing them means leaving behind people, patterns, and versions of yourself that you've known for years. So instead of consciously sabotaging your growth, you unconsciously stall. You delay action. You overthink decisions. You chase smaller goals. You stay busy, but not bold. Not because you're weak, but because expansion threatens the very identity you've built to survive up until now. Your mind isn't blocking you out of laziness, it's actually protecting you from collapse. Collapse of the old identity, collapse of your current relationships, collapse of the version of life you've been holding on to. You're not fighting failure here, you're fighting internal collapse. That's why, traditional advice about motivation or discipline just doesn't work for you. Because this isn't really a discipline issue, it's actually an identity conflict. In a moment, we'll break down why your brain sees expansion as a threat, how your nervous system resists identity growth, and, how to finally break the internal freeze that's keeping you stuck at your current level. But first, if this is already hitting home, hit like and subscribe right now. We're not here for recycled self-help slogans, we're here to break the deeper patterns that control your life. Let's go into the wiring. Your brain isn't designed for success, it's designed for survival. And survival depends on familiarity. Familiar environments, familiar patterns, familiar roles, familiar emotions. Expansion. Real expansion threatens that familiarity, because success requires stepping into situations you haven't mastered yet. It demands new skills, new relationships, new versions of responsibility. And your brain interprets that unfamiliarity as potential danger. What if you're rejected at this level? What if people leave? What if you lose everything you built so far? What if you change and don't like who you become? This is how your nervous system turns growth into anxiety. For many people, expansion also triggers something even deeper: abandonment guilt. Because growth often means outgrowing people who don't want to grow, leaving comfort zones others still need, breaking generational stories about what's possible, and no longer needing systems you once depended on. Your mind starts whispering, who do you think you are to want more? Will people still accept you? Are you leaving them behind? And instead of facing that inner tension, you unconsciously pull back. You slow down your own momentum, not because you lack ability, but because you fear disconnection. This is why self-sabotage rarely looks dramatic. Most of the time it shows up as over-researching instead of acting, constantly changing plans, waiting for the perfect time, getting stuck in learning loops, creating unnecessary complexity, and doubting every next move. All of these behaviors create emotional safety, not progress. Because as long as you stay in preparation mode, you don't have to confront the identity shift that real action would require. Here's one of the most dangerous lies your brain tells you: I just need more time. But time isn't the problem. It's not a skill gap, it's not a knowledge gap, it's an identity permission gap. You're waiting for permission to expand into someone you haven't fully accepted yet, and that delay creates just enough space for fear to keep regaining control. Let's strip it down for a second. You don't need more discipline. You don't need more information. What you really need is to stop protecting a version of yourself that, honestly, just doesn't fit anymore. Most people, they don't actually fear failure. What they really fear is becoming someone unrecognizable to their old self. You know, the person who's no longer, well, relatable. The person who outgrows their circle. The person who walks away from old patterns. The person who risks being judged, envied, or even misunderstood. But hey, that fear, it's just identity friction, not inability. The real battle isn't out there, it's internal permission. Can you, allow yourself to expand beyond who you've been? Here's a simple truth. Your next level requires a different identity, and here's how you start shifting it. Accept temporary discomfort. Expansion feels unnatural because you're stretching neural pathways your brain hasn't strengthened yet. That discomfort is not a signal to stop, it's actually a sign you're building new wiring. Detach from old loyalty patterns. You're not betraying your past by growing, you honor your past by building on it, not staying trapped inside it. Redefine loyalty as legacy. The people who truly care about you want to see you expand, and the ones who don't, you're not abandoning them, they're choosing not to grow with you. Normalize fear as a growth signal. Fear doesn't mean you're unprepared, it means you're leaving the familiar. Your nervous system has been trained to believe that discomfort equals danger. But in expansion, discomfort equals stretching. Stretching your skill set, stretching your confidence, stretching your capacity. The goal isn't to eliminate fear. The goal is to move with fear without collapsing. Because here's the truth, you don't need to feel fully ready to begin. You need to begin so you can become ready through action. Most people are waiting for external permission, a mentor to validate them, a partner to approve their ambition, a circumstance to feel perfect. But honestly, no one is coming to give you that. You create permission by moving. Every action you take builds evidence that your identity can handle the expansion. One conversation, one offer, one uncomfortable decision, one visible move. Each act chips away at the old version of you and strengthens the foundation for who you're becoming. Expansion isn't a one-time event, it's a system you build. The moment you allow yourself to expand, your nervous system will try to pull you back toward familiarity. That's normal. That pull is not a sign of failure. It's simply your old wiring trying to reassert control. Here's how you lock in the new identity. Normalize the new level. Make your expansion your new normal. Speak it, move inside it, decide from it, not from your old reference point. Anchor to process, not outcome. Stay grounded in the actions you control. Don't obsess over instant validation or external recognition. Consistency stabilizes identity faster than big wins. Build micro-proof daily. Stack daily actions that confirm, this is who I am now. One new skill, one uncomfortable move, one elevated decision, one high-level conversation. Every small act strengthens your expanded identity. Real expansion is not loud, it's not frantic, it's calm and certain. The more calm you stay inside your growth process, the less power fear has. You're not forcing momentum, you're building capacity. You're not trying to impress, you're mastering alignment. You're not chasing urgency, you're protecting stability while growing. This is how people build sustainable success, not short bursts followed by collapse. Now listen carefully. Self-sabotage doesn't disappear because you eliminate fear. It disappears because you outgrow the version of you that needed fear to feel safe. You break the cycle by upgrading your relationship with discomfort. You move with fear, not against it. You allow yourself to evolve without apology. You choose expansion even when it feels unfamiliar. And once you do this enough times, your nervous system adapts, your baseline shifts. What once triggered sabotage now becomes your new comfort zone. Here's the truth most never say. You're not weak, you're not broken, you're not lazy. You've simply been protecting an identity you've outgrown. And now, you don't need to protect it anymore. You're ready for the discomfort of growth. You're ready for the tension of expansion. You're ready for a version of you that isn't controlled by survival anymore, but by vision. You don't fear failure, you fear becoming someone you've never been. But that's exactly what growth requires. And once you allow yourself to become, you'll realize the version of you you're afraid to become like you is the one you've been ready for all along. If this landed for you, drop a comment right now. I'm done protecting the old version of me. And if you haven't yet, hit the like button and subscribe. We're not building hype here, we're building real tools that help you break patterns, reclaim identity, and grow with power. This video is for educational and motivational purposes only. It is not psychological, financial, or professional advice. Always consult qualified experts when making decisions related to personal development or mental health.